Is this for real? They're like entire team. And Asgard's completely dead. So that was a supposed intro of what's going to be one of the more powerful war offenses in the game, given that they're taking out Asgardians. I don't see it as necessarily a Black Order type kill everybody, but there's certainly some things with these guys' kits that make them able to fairly easily, and look, I don't have the stats for what you just saw, I wasn't able to see anything, but you saw the end result, and I'd like to think that it wasn't a, 200k punch down. So yeah, we're gonna check this out. We're gonna look, we got the kits, we've got, I've got to always put my something on it, so we're gonna look at some stats, and also I've analyzed what the T4 upgrades are. Not ranking them like with Yeti or anything like that, because that's a separate thing, but I am able to look at exactly what the T4 upgrades are. So are you going to want to invest in this team? Do you want to invest in this team? Where are you at? So some of the footage is pretty interesting. So let's just start looking at the kits. Well, before we do that, we've got to have a message. So let's go through our message process. Then let's check out some of the info.
Bring me WolverThor!
I'm a part of a volunteer Fox Next Envoy program. I'm not an employee of Fox Next, nor am I an employee of Marvel. I do not receive any payments from either of these companies. The information that I was provided came directly from Fox Next through this Envoy program. However, any opinions, comments, or analysis of this information is strictly my own.
All right, so I needed to show you guys this whole first initial kind of exchange with XForce towards the Asgardians here, because you see Negasonic bust out her ult. She's the first one to go there, and obviously you can't really see what's happening, the health bars or anything. Everybody's still kind of full. X23 goes. She clearly takes Thor below 50% health, which is like, because he's stealth. It's like, all right. Then Domino's up, and Domino's just sitting there chilling. She's gonna hit somebody. Cool animations. All this stuff's pretty dope. And you'll see Loki then go stealth. So now he's under 50% health, which means X23 is going again, because you'll see in a second how she gets speed bar when people go below 50%. Oh, by the way, by Loki. And then it's like, okay. Oh, and now, oh, by the way, by Thor. So it's kind of like, wait a minute. Not one Asgardian has taken a turn yet, and two of them are off the board. Thor and Loki are both gone. So I just needed to show you guys that before I get into the video. So yeah, I'll go talk about all the stats and everything now, but and the kits, but I just had to show you that. So as we're going through these kits, I'm gonna at least have the video playing in the background. I think it'll be, kind of advantageous for you guys to check that out. So I'm gonna put the image kind of off to the corner way over there so you can see this stuff that I'm reading through. I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on it, but because a lot of this stuff you've already seen. So Domino's first up. The traits, you can see I had to adjust some things there. The information that we got was not necessarily correct, and some of the videos showed the more accurate descriptions, traits, etc. So Domino is hero, global, mutant, controller, X-Force, and something called Unity. We have not gotten a clear answer to what that means at the point that I've been recording this video, which is on Monday. But we'll see. Maybe we'll get I don't think it's a temporary tag, because I believe I saw some Lucky in a tag called Lucky in there as well. So something may be coming for Unity. We'll see what that is. So, and all of the stats for every single one of these that I'm about to read for Domino, Negasonic, and X23, they all include the T4s. So her basic is called Lucky Shot. It's attack primary target for 210 damage, gain 50% crit chance for this attack, gain an assist from a random X-Force ally. The T4 for this added 50%, so without the T4, it's 160. So again, the stats all include T4, so when you see the T4 plus 50% damage, that means that's what the T4 had to do to get it to that number. Special Fire in the Hole, which seems to be the second turn here, or actually third turn, I think, because she starts off with 3 out of 500. No, that would be second turn. If Deadpool is an ally, transfer all negative effects from self to and each X-Force ally to Deadpool. I really like that dynamic there. Fill speed bar for Deadpool by 80%, so he'll quickly, heal up right after that because he's got all those negative effects on him. And then attack the most injured enemy for 320% damage, and all adjacent enemies for 290% damage. The T4s here increased that Deadpool speed bar by 20%. And increase the damage to both primary and adjacent targets by 50%. So those aren't too bad. It's pretty solid. The ultimate, called No Scope, which is the first turn, which you kind of saw her there, where she had her, sniper rifle, looked at it a second, dropped it down, and just giggled, and then shot without looking. This is your first turn ability. Attack primary target for 310% damage. Apply Disrupted. Rebound Chain to 3 adjacent targets for 240% damage. If this character is below 50% health, Rebound Chain to 5 adjacent targets. Dodge breaks the chain. So the T4s here give you a 40% extra damage to primary and secondary, and it guarantees the 3 adjacent target hit while above 50% as opposed to 2 to 3. That T4, we'll see. I'll have to see the stat rankings on it, but I'm not loving that one. Her passive is called Lady Luck. On spawn, feel speed bar by 15%. Now, and this is the thing with this team. It's speed bar all over the place. Speed bar fill all over the place. So if you didn't want speed manipulation in the game, too late, you're already getting it. You got a Black Order, you're getting it with these guys. This is how it's one of the ways to avoid power creep too much that you're going to see Fox next start doing, is with all this filling the speed bars. On X-Force allies' turn, 75% chance to apply Evade to that ally, which is pretty interesting. It ties in with the luck stuff too. Gain 10% dodge chance. X-Force allies gain 10% dodge chance. 20% crit damage, same thing with the X-Force allies. Apply negative 15% crit damage to all enemies. On war offense, on spawn, reduce speed bar for all enemies by 5%. Apply offense up to all X-Force allies. So I'm going to be really interested to see, with all this speed bar manipulation, what exactly happens with Black Order. We've been loosely told, that Black Thanos should still be going first, but I really want to get a confirmation on that. With some of the reduction here, I get a little nervous. So, and the T4s were a guarantee, or a 25% chance to apply Evade, which is pretty good in my opinion, from 50% to 75%, and then an additional 10% crit damage. So now let's go to Negasonic. All right, so for Negasonic, again, these include all the T4s. There were some corrections that needed to be made that you can see in red on there. She's Hero, Global, Mutant, Blaster, X-Force, and again, Unity. Her basic, called Energy Blast, attack primary target with 340% damage. The T4 adds 50% damage. Her special, which would be her second turn, Particle Charge, because it starts off with 3 to 5. This attack cannot be blocked. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 300% damage. Clear all positive effects from each target. So attack primary and adjacent. Clear all positive effects from each target. So she's just like clearing positive effects with this particular attack. You'll see her ultimate does something similar. T4 there adds 60% damage. Solid if she's got a good core or good base damage. Her ultimate is called Warhead. This is your first turn ability. And as you saw in the video, she goes right away. So this is nice because attack all enemies for 360% damage, plus apply heal block for 2 turns as Guardians again. So she's applying heal block to everybody for 2 turns so they can't heal. On war offense, clear defense up on all targets. Again, this team is just written to counter Asgardians. And then I don't know if I mentioned the T4 added 60% damage. Passive called Ticking Time Bomb. On spawn, bury yourself for 10% of this character's max health. On enemy turn, bury yourself for 5% of this character's max health, plus fill speed bar by 10%. So as these guys, if they keep going, she goes quicker. If this character has barrier, gain 30% armor. On war offense, on spawn, fill speed bar by 10% plus 5% per X-Force ally. So you get another, what is that? There's another force of 22, fill their speed bar by 30%. Gain 50% damage And then X-Force allies gain 50% damage, which is insane. The T4s here gave her additional 10% armor if she has barrier. And then the T4 for war offense is an additional 20% damage, which if you're into war, that in my mind is going to be an absolute must. So pretty solid numbers here, a lot of clearing. And again, this is just tailored to counter Asgardians. You're going to want to make sure her focus is pretty solid to be able to clear all that stuff. If not, she's obviously going to struggle. So anyway, and then now let's jump into the one that probably nobody's seen anything for yet, and that's X23. And as I've got X23 on the board, you'll see I've got a different defense back there for you to kind of enjoy. It's as X-Force goes against Shield. And you can imagine how that's going to turn out if that's the footage we received. So two teams that you can now potentially, think about it. If you're not using X-Men against Shield, and some people might not, they might be using Supernatural or a Brotherhood, but if a low X-Force can take down Shield and you can free up X-Men for somebody else in war, it'd be pretty nice. So anyway, all right, X23. So again, the red is the stuff that I had to fix that was written a little incorrectly, and then all of this stuff has stats that include T4s. So X23 is a hero, global, mutant, brawler, X-Force. Her basic is attack primary target for 250% piercing, gain evade. The T4s added 50% of that piercing and guaranteed the chance to invade, so it was 75% prior to that. Special, Relentless Assault. This is your first turn ability because the energy comes full. Attack primary target for 300% piercing plus apply ability block. If blocked or dodged, gain bonus attack for 350% piercing. Apply +1 ability block up to a maximum of 3. Bonus attack is unavoidable. In war, bonus attack gains 10,000% allegedly extra focus. The T4 here added 60% of that piercing. So pretty solid attack there where you're putting an ability block up on somebody. The ultimate Feral Rage. This is your second turn ability. Energy 4 out of 6. Attack the most injured non-summon target for 140% piercing, ignoring taunt and stealth. Plus flip stealth on that target. So that's where you saw that Loki and Thor lose their stealth in the attack, and it's attacking whoever is the most injured. Repeat this attack 4 additional times. So it's just flipping buffs, flipping stealths. If X23 finishes the last non-summoned enemy, repeat this full attack against most injured summoned targets. So in theory, it could clear out Greg's too. Again, written to counter Asgardian. Couldn't be more clear or obvious. The T4s gave an additional 20% piercing and the guaranteed chance to flip to stealth at plus 30%. Probably worth it just for that, to be honest with you, if you want to finish off those Thors or Lokis or whoever you might have attacked first on an Asgardian team, because you don't want them to be able to stay stealth and no one else can get to them. The passive, called Mutant Weapon. On turn, heal for 10% of this character's max health. When an enemy drops below 50% health, fill speed bar by 40%. When this character's health drops below 50%, gain 2 evade, gain 60% focus. X-Force allies and Wolverine gain 60% focus. That's the only inclusion of Wolverine synergy, which is super random in my mind, but it's there. On war offense, gain 80% focus. X-Force allies gain 80% focus. So there's some of that focus that you might have been worried about. And we'll get into the stats in a minute here, but obviously X23 gives you that. So her T4s on the passive gained an additional 20% on the speed bar if someone drops below 50% health, and in 20% to the focus. And I don't know if the 20% focus is just for any point or if it also includes the war offense. It didn't scroll down far enough, but I think her passive is probably something you want to do regardless. So now that we've got that, let's check in the battle here. If they've gone, it looks like we're doing pretty good. If we're looking at X-Force here, Fury's summoning, we're still going strong. They might have already looped through there. I don't even know. But spoiler alert, X-Force wins. So we'll go through the couple, there's a couple updates to Cable, and there's a couple updates to Deadpool. So go through those real quick, and then I'll jump into the stats. All right, I figured, you know what, let's keep letting this go while we talk about Cable. Cable's base stats increased by 10% health and 5% speed. His basic is basically the same. The change is if not charged, fill speed bar by 80%. Everything else stays the same, where it was attack primary target with 340% damage plus gain charged. So if he's not charged, he gets more speed bar. Again, that's all over the place with this team. His special, the additions here is he gains a damage, a lot of damage on his special. He gains 120% damage on the special to the primary target. He gains 20% damage to the adjacent targets. The speed bar stuff stays the exact same. If charged, in addition, clear all positive effects from primary target, clear 2 positive effects from secondary targets. That's brand new. So he's now clearing more positive effects. Attack, the part that was already there is attack targets 2 spaces from primary for 190% damage. That's a 20% boost. And then reduce speed bar by 10%. That's the same. And then lose charge. That's the same. His passive chain. The new items, he's still on spawn, he still fills speed bar by 5% for self and all allies. A new item is on charged, barrier self for 20% of this character's max health. So he's given himself barrier. This stays the same on turn, 30% chance to apply counter to a random mutant ally, 20% chance to apply counter to another random ally. This part's new. And if charged, barrier self for 10% of this character's max health. And this is new. On war offense, on spawn, gain charge, so you get that right away, which is nice. Fill speed bar for self and all XForce allies by an additional 5% plus 5% per XForce ally. So the speed bar, you're going on war offense. You're going. And that's all you got for Cable. So now Deadpool, his base stats, only thing that changes is an additional 10% health. Everything else stays the same. His special, there's only one change to his special, okay? If X23 is an ally, this attack ignores stealth. So if someone's hiding, you're not getting away from this, all right? So you're gonna hit them regardless of where they're sitting. Ultimate, the only thing that's changed with the ultimate is if Domino is an ally, this attack cannot be counterattacked. So instead of, sometimes you'd be chaining and someone's got a counter and it stops, now it's not. So he's going to nuke someone if they're hiding under stealth with his special, and with his ultimate, it's not going to stop with a counterattack if Domino's an ally, which clearly she should be. His passive, the changes here, on kill, generate ability energy for an allied Cable. That's very micro situational because he's got it. I assume, actually now that I think about it, I don't know if it's on a Deadpool kill or an any kill. So that's something to think about there. I'm not sure how that's going to shake out. And then the 5% chance to revive at 10% max health. The change is if Domino is an ally, 100% chance to revive at 80% of max health. So he's basically coming back to life. We already kind of knew that from Domino's kit. Oh, by the way, see you later, Coulson. Thanks for playing. So those are the kits. And, like I said, I like to do the stat stuff. So let's go into that. I know we've already spent a lot of time on this thing. But there's a lot of characters, so I wanted to go through them. So let's just check out the stats real quick to see how they do compared to everybody else. Okay, so stats. So you can't see this, and I did that intentionally for the moment because I've currently got these ranked based on their average rankings. And you see all these yellow lines up here? That's the XForce. All right, there's 4 I just clicked on, and then there's 1 down here that you can't see because I'm blocking it. But there you go, little limbo action. Through the shirt action, you get the idea. Let's zoom in so you can see this, all right? That's the rankings stat-wise, okay? Domino comes in at number 3 in the game, behind Dark Phoenix and Ebony Maw. Negasonic comes in at 6. Only people in front of her are Ultron and Black Bolt. Cable comes in at 10th. Ghost Rider, Captain Marvel, and Proxima Midnight. Now, X23 comes in at 12th just after that. Now, Deadpool is the one who is much lower down here at 43. One of the things that we don't get the exact stats from these guys based for a baseline. There's got to be some interpolation. And, you can see, so you basically take the stats that they give you on whatever level it is, to go to msf.gg, pick a character, set it to that stats, then set that character to the baseline and see a percent difference. It's a basic concept, and then apply that percent difference to the stats you've got. I was not expecting this at all. Like when I saw this, I was kind of like, holy cow, really? Okay, power creep and a half. Negasonic is stronger than Captain Marvel? All right, you know, and one of the things, and this is the part I'm a little confused about, because the stuff that I just read off to you, you know, for Cable was not dramatic stat changes, and all of a sudden he's at, you know, number 10, you know, and that's like, wait a minute, you know, let's find Cable. I think where is he here? He's at 74th. So, you know, it's like, those percent stats don't make sense to jump him there. So I literally double checked this thing like 5 times. And I'm like, okay, I re-looked at the videos to double check those stats. And I'm like, these stats are increasing way more if the footage we got is accurate. And I don't know if that was old footage, but I'm looking at these and I'm like, if the stats change just what they told us, it's way higher than that. So assuming that the stats that they gave us in the footage is accurate, that's where these tunes are going to land. They're going to be super high. And now I want to show you, before I'm not going to go through each one of these because I do that in my character reviews once it's actually on msf.gg. Not going to bore you through that. I've already been talking long enough. But one thing, I'm gonna resort this based on one particular stat, damage. And then you can check that one out. Okay, so you can see above my head, we're scrolling top 20. Where are they? Top 15. Oh, there's X23 at 14. Okay, not bad. Symbiote Spider-Man. All right, he's pretty solid. Rocket, Punisher. Where are these guys? Oh, there's Deadpool 5. Cable at 4. Black Bolt. And then Negasonic and Domino above Black Bolt. What? For real? I don't even know what to say. Honestly, I don't know what to say. So, if this is in fact real, the power creep is real. A lot of people were talking about potentially skipping this team. I don't know. Let's do it. Let's talk about that in the outro. We're gonna do an outro. So yeah, like I said, people were talking about skipping this team. Look, it is a war team, for sure. Okay, so this is a lot of war offense stuff. But in my guesstimation, this is going to be the next team for unlocks for a legendary. There's just only so many characters that have been added to the game that we've had the chance to farm. You know how this, works, rinse and repeat. Where new characters, you got to get them to unlock a new legendary. So XForce are going to be probably, like most people are like, you don't need them. You don't need another war team. One, they're clearly kicking the crap out of some of the stronger war defenses in the game. And then the stats on them are pretty strong. So then you've got the fact that there's 3 new tunes in this group, and most people probably don't have Cable super strong. Both of them, Deadpool and Cable, probably be 7 stars. But I could see where, what it ended up being. This is my prediction on the video on this. Is the next legendary is you're gonna need 3 XForce, and it's gonna be Domino, Negasonic, and X23, and 2 X-Men, and it's gonna be Beast and Cyclops, or Beast and some other X-Men that's coming to the game. So anyway, that's what I got about all this stuff. Again, Envoy video, go check out all the other ones too, see what they're thinking. I try to do a different spin on this stuff to help you guys in game, not just read off the kits. It's going to be an interesting team. If this stat stuff's right, ooh, baby. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. Please share with your Alliance mates. Encourage them to stop by the Discord. We love to chat about this stuff. I'll be talking about any of the stat type of thing there. What I think about this team. It's definitely one that is now making me second guess just skipping it. I don't know how you could at this point. So anyway, share with whoever you want to share with. Stop by the Discord. Hammer down a like button, subscribes, notification bells, do all that goodness. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.